Hi everybody, it's August 9th, 2025. Um, uh, the the magical thing about movies is that it provides a baseline or an alternate angle of view to normal everyday life. That's what films do, movies, cinema. It provides a parallel to our daily lives and gives us the ability to analyze and study concepts that can be portrayed in fiction that don't necessarily translate exactly into normal everyday life. But I've been thinking that us in our everyday normal lives have superpowers, but it's just because the vantage point that movies provide inside their enclosed world, it seems like that movies are more spectacular, more dramatic than our actual lives. But the first and most obvious point that I would provide to that argument that movies are more supernatural or more fantastical than normal life is that when you watch a movie, it is upon the creators to show you the many effects that one superhero or team of superheroes can initiate in that world. You can see the effects of their actions. You can see the effects of their thoughts because it's portrayed in this show to give more body and more meaning to the story. So if you see a superhero save a victim from a calamity that he or she was certain to die from, and saves them, you can see that person living on. You can see the news in the news channel in the movie portraying, re-releasing the footage of that rescue. They show you the effects of the society pertaining to the superheroes, their great actions and their great their benevolent behavior. But when we do something in our normal lives, we don't see the effects from anybody else. Sometimes we don't see it from anything else. We just know what we did, and then so we walk on and we're like, maybe it didn't mean that much. Maybe what I did was inconsequential. Maybe it was selfish what I did, even though I was just trying to help somebody, or I was trying to save myself and just do good for myself. But we don't see the effects like we do in movies. And so what we do when we do great things and we have nobody or no footage or no releasing of information of what we did, we could go on thinking we're just a mediocre person, when actually the effects of what we did rippled throughout the world, potentially. So that's one way that our lives are more supernatural, more fantastical than movies, because what we do is in the real world and it has far-reaching effects even if we can't see it. Now, in movies, we don't really get to see inside the mind of the superheroes or of the protagonists as much as we can see in our own mind. And what that means for a real life situation or for a real life story is that we could create outcomes in our mind and make them come into reality. We could change the chemistry of our body. We could increase our strength output to above normal human levels by working our mind and our hearts and our spirits the correct way. We could withstand pain that will make others pass out or trouble them or torment them to insanity at times when we need to. So this power of the mind and the spirit and the body is well present in everyday normal reality. We don't get to see into the mind. We don't get to see how a superhero overcomes the barriers of his mental boundaries in the movie. We just see them doing what they do because they could naturally do it. That's their powers. So the power, the supernatural power of a human mind is on a daily display, but we can't quantify the amounts of a supernatural ability that we have because we can't record this mind elevation readily, not at this point in time. So if you think that superheroes and the stories of superheroes and action movies are so great and so mesmerizing, it's important to realize that in real life we are incredibly capable and we do have supernatural powers. It's not very easy to measure what we do because we can't necessarily see inside of others, and we can't understand the effects that we have because we can't see the outside world and what a particular action has done to the world most of the time. Sometimes we can see it in not all the way deeply. Sometimes we can see it a little bit. But if you're just a regular person that blends in, you might not be able to see the effect that you have on the world, but it doesn't mean it's not there. So I hope this helps. Thanks.